Welcome to We Film Things. If you're new here, I'm Eliska. This is Jack. And this tiny tot following us around is our daughter, Rhea. And in this video, we'll be taking you through our incredible week of eating our hearts out in North Cornwall. You may have seen in our last video that we dragged our friends and family from all corners of the world to this pretty inaccessible bit of England to watch us get married. You can see we really had no choice but to make it worth their while. So we stayed on in Cornwall the week after our wedding, just riding that post-wedding high and really spending some quality time with some of our closest friends. Honestly, this week was bliss, with mornings sipping coffee together and basking in the light. And those mugs of coffee were swapped for glasses of wine in the hot tub after sunset. The days were spent enjoying the beaches and towns on the North Cornish coast, or playing games together in the sun. On a side note, if you haven't tried Spikeball, it had to be the game of the year for us last year. We had it at our wedding and brought it with us pretty much everywhere. It is honestly so much fun.
You bumped your head yesterday? Oh, you bumping it on the camera. Yeah, that's how you did it. Yeah. Oh, big hug for Joey.
And of course, quality time wouldn't be quality time without some truly incredible food. But more on that in a minute.
Thank you.
We stayed at this beautiful house at Ven Farm near the coastal town of Bude, which incidentally is the area in which we got married. The house was this recently modernised farmhouse and was one of the nicest places I have ever stayed. We'll leave a link in the description below. Definitely bookmark it if you're ever headed out that way. What really struck me about it was how it was laid out perfectly to bring people together, with the open plan space and glass doors into the garden and plenty of lounging space both inside and out. Ven Farm is owned by a couple who left us a really lovely congratulations card for our wedding, but who also own a restaurant called Temple in nearby Bude. We actually went here twice during our stay. It was that good. The menus change daily, the dishes are seasonal with locally sourced produce, and I just love the feel of this place. It's all set menus made with high quality ingredients, good wine, but it's all in a really casual setting. And it turns out that Rhea loves the set menu too. Who would have known?
Would we possibly get a napkin?
Maybe a couple if possible. Thank you.
But also slightly worrying, because are we just creating a rod for our own backs here? Next on our list is Coomshead Farm. Combshead? I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's this peaceful, secluded piece of Cornish countryside. So Coomshead is a guest house and working farm focused on bringing good produce straight from the land to the table, and their passion for good produce is really palpable here. We wandered around the property and checked out their greenhouses and crops. We met their animals and had a little look around their on-site bakery, where all of the bread for the restaurant is made fresh from scratch.
Should we do a cheers? Little toast. To bittersweet symphonies.
Yeah. Right on.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
I'll get you James.
It's fork cheddar inside and then Buxwell used cheese on the outside.
Very passionate about British cheese.
And the way the staff talk about the food makes it clear just how much respect they have for the land and for their entire process.
These are your pickled preserved carrots,
Oh, I love
nice.
a preserved carrot.
You're going to be okay with
fava
that?
bean dip, and then some beans from the garden, some yellow green guys with an roasted almond dressing.
Is anyone here had guinea fowl before?
Yeah.
I mean, when things are done that properly, how can the result be anything but exceptional?
Different cakes.
Oh, okay. Do you do deliveries?
How far away are these?
Manchester.
Now, if you're into food and you're in this neck of the woods, then you most definitely can't leave before visiting Padstow, aka Steinville. It's home to a range of eateries owned by celebrity chef Rick Stein. I believe he started off with one seafood restaurant here, but has since expanded with a cafe, deli, and fish and chip place. And probably more, to be honest. Every time we go back, old Rick seems to have opened something new.
I actually can't see her anymore. Hi.
Fish and chips.
You want Flynn? Okay. Nice. Ooh, blood orange. That's good, isn't it? Yeah, good. Raise your hands up. Shall we go eat some chippies, right?
You can't really fault the man's work. I mean, this is the best fish and chips I have probably ever had, and that is saying something. I love me a good chippy. Obviously, we can't have a video dedicated to food in Cornwall without including a pasty or two, and Rick's really hit the spot. If you've seen any of our Cornwall videos previously, you'll know that we have a soft spot for Watergate Bay. There's just something about this beach that is magical. Maybe it's the cliffs, maybe it's the vast expanse of sand when the tide is out, I don't know, but there is a reason why it's so popular. It's the home of Watergate Bay Hotel, which has 2 great restaurants in it, but directly on the bay is the Beach Hut, which is a super casual beachside restaurant. I love this place. In fact, we seem to come back here almost every year, but it's the kind of place where you don't have to feel bad about the sand on your feet that you've brought in from the surf, and they serve the kind of wholesome gastropub-like food that you crave after hours in the sun and the waves. I'll also include a tiny little mention here of Strong Adolfo's, which is a great little brunch spot at Hawksfield Rest Stop. We feature it more in this video, so go check that out if you're interested. We didn't spend that much time there this time, but we do love it. And finally, don't forget that here in Cornwall, you are in one of the produce richest counties in England. There are countless farmers markets and local shops where you can get your share of local fruit and veg, meat, seafood, cheese and dairy products. And people are really proud of their local goods here, so it's a really easy conversation to strike up too. We actually picked our accommodation on the basis that we could host barbecues and cook-ups during our week here without the need to go out, which is especially handy when you have a little baby with a bedtime. If it's not clear from the video by now, the North Cornish coast is so special to us. It's where we got engaged, where we got married, and where we find ourselves getting drawn to time and time again. So it was extra special to get to share some of our favourite places with some of our favourite people. And it kind of reminded me why we used to love making videos on this channel in the first place, because sharing things we love feels in the least tacky way possible like spreading joy, and I am here for that. And on that note, if you're planning a trip to England's Sunshine Coast this summer, I will link a playlist here of all of our Devon and Cornwall videos to give you some ideas and maybe inspiration from our past trips. Obviously feel free to ask us any questions and we will more than happily share our experiences and insights with you. Otherwise, I will see you in our next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.